Typically, when something in your life isn't going the way you'd like and is causing you some degree of pain, the most intense emotion you experience in that kind of situation is fear. Look, I work with a lot of corporate clients, and often that fear revolves around feeling inadequate or insufficient. The result is that you go through life nearly every single day feeling anxious, right? Anxious that you're not doing enough, that you're not performing up to someone else's expectations or standards, that your job could be given away to somebody else at a moment's notice, that you won't be able to provide for your family or maintain your lifestyle. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's like being on a treadmill that just keeps getting faster and faster and forcing you to push harder and harder. And you don't really feel like you're getting anywhere meaningful. And in fact, you could be thrown off at a moment's notice. Not a really fun way to go through life, is it? Actually, it's downright awful. The irony of all this, of course, is that there is no way you can operate at your peak performance when you're feeling this fear and anxiety. And worse, when you actually do accomplish something of substance and value, you never feel like you can cross the goal line, spike the ball, and do your touchdown dance. I see this all the time, over and over again, right? This feeling that you can never actually enjoy the moment, right? Somebody actually thanks you for the good job you've done or recognize it, and all you can do is point out the flaws and the problems and literally beat yourself to an oblivion over the one or two things you missed, even in the face of a successful conclusion. You've literally trained yourself and fallen into a habit of looking for all the things you've done wrong or that you could do wrong, and this results in a complete inability to ever celebrate success. I call this the check the box mentality, and on to the next one. Sound familiar? So I'd like to share with you a powerful quarter turn that can actually make your fear evaporate instantly in those moments when you're acutely aware that the fear and anxiety are starting to weigh you down. You've probably heard of the rubber band on the wrist trick. You know, that's when you're trying to train yourself to do something different, like stop swearing. And every time you cuss, you snap that rubber band on the wrist and it creates this kind of reaction. Well, in much the same way, you need an internal reset button to snap yourself out of that fear mode when you sense it coming on. So here it is. When you notice your body tensing or you begin feeling anxious as a result of being fearful about something, I want you to stop, breathe, and say to yourself or even out loud these three words. Check the evidence. That's right, check the evidence. You see, oftentimes our fear has absolutely no basis in reality. Now, I understand there are some genuine real fears that occur in your life and in the workplace, but oftentimes these are just inventions of our mind creating, again, that worst case scenario, and we've developed that habit to the nth degree. Let me give you an example of this, and I'm sure many of you have had this happen. You get into your office first thing in the morning and you hear this message from your boss, and it's like, meet me in the office at 3 o'clock, and that's it, right? Think of all the different scenarios that go on in your head in that moment. Oh my gosh, what'd I do? What's happening? What's going on, right? In that moment, I want you to say, check the evidence. Because ultimately, when you do that, you'll start building a case against your fear. You'll remind yourself of all the reasons why you don't have anything to worry about, and instead you'll project this positive story versus a negative story, which will cause you to be distracted and unproductive and have a really horrible morning. This will help calm you so that by the time you actually do walk into your boss's office at 3, you're calm, you're cool, you're collected, and you're interested and curious about what the situation is. When you implement the quarter turn I call simply check the evidence, the fear you're experiencing in that moment actually dissipates or vanishes completely. The anxiety will go away and you'll allow yourself to perform optimally while remaining confident and reducing your stress. Learning to actually hit that internal reset button and get yourself back into peak performance will actually make you an indispensable asset to any team or organization. You're cool under fire, you're confident, you're level-headed, you're steady, you're dependable. Isn't that what everybody wants? So today, pay attention to your body. And when you notice anxiety creeping in, check the evidence. I'd love you to come back to the blog and share how this worked for you. Oh, and by the way, if you've ever been challenged financially or want to make more money, I've got an ultra simple quarter turn that you'll want to tune into tomorrow. So watch your email for it and have a fear-free day today.